Welcome to Jeanette Talks a Lot. Grab your favorite drink and let's talk about all things stories. My coffee today is Black Rifle, aka Espresso. What are you drinking today? I recently watched the Patriot Movie. So wild. If you haven't seen it in a while, it is set in the early days of the American Revolution. I found this viewer-made synopsis on IMDb, which I thought was really great. So let's read that. Benjamin Martin is a South Carolina planter who is still haunted by his notoriously brutal past as a soldier in the French and Indian War. When the American Revolution comes, he chooses not to fight for the Continental Army because he wants to protect his family. But when the British Colonel Tavington threatens their welfare and kills one of his sons, he chooses to enlist. Martin becomes the leader of a makeshift militia, which consists of peasants, slaves, a minister, and assorted other irregulars. But thanks to their courage and bravery, they are also destined to play a pivotal role in turning the tide against the Redcoats. The Patriot Movie is a fictional story, but from what I've read, the main character in the film, Benjamin Martin, was based off the lives of 3 to 4 men who were known to have lived during this time. Although fictional stories take their own liberty to try to entertain, move us to feel one way or another, and teach us about different places and people, we shouldn't look to them to be completely truthful in every sense. But they do give us a glimpse into some of the people, places, and things that we may never be able to experience in our real lives. Many times, historically significant locations, events, people, and things are perfect opportunities to show an example of what this situation would have been like. Because this story was based in the period of the American Revolution, it was filled with war, fighting, betrayal, brutality, and so much more. It's hard for me to watch really violent stuff, but honestly, it gave me such a realistic understanding of what these soldiers went through at the time, and to varying degrees what modern-day soldiers go through today. Although painful, it's important to keep in mind that every country has had to defend their land or their people in these ways for centuries. Although we may not like its brutality, it allows us a glimpse of why freedom is not free. And there are so many great elements of this movie with the acting and the costumes and the locations. It is really beautifully done, and it's not all brutal, but there are elements that, are war. So that just so you know, it is a really beautifully well done film, and it gives us a glimpse of what's going on in these war times and in these times where you want to really stand up for your people and for your nation and what you believe in. In every country and culture, we study the human past, analyzing and interpreting evidence to build narratives about what and why things happened. Some theorists believe history is a social science, and others believe it is connected to the humanities, or possibly a mixture of both. There are debates on the purpose of history. Some people think it's for being theoretical or uncovering the truth, or being practical by learning lessons from the past. No matter where you fall on this topic, I think you'd agree that we pass down stories through the record of chronological events, paying attention to the life or development of a people or institution. We pass down these stories through many forms, including oral presentations, museum and archaeological demonstrations, books, movies, all kinds of things. If you think about it, history can be studied with a wide lens, like the history of a continent or nation, or a narrow lens on a particular time period, people group, style, region of the world, etc. In the USA, every 4th of July, we celebrate our country, our history, our freedom, and our traditions that have been held for many years. This time, however, we are celebrating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which was the beginning stages of what would become the United States of America. Many nations around the world have recorded history that began long before the United States. Buildings and natural wonders and physical artifacts dating back to people and places of old. We all have our own amazing histories that make each of our countries special and unique. Long before America's Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, there was a rich history on this land, and many people groups lived here, those who traveled from other countries and those who were born here. When you're looking at history, you are in the present. While in the present, seeing the choices and decisions being made around us, for us, or with us, we don't usually know where these decisions will lead or what the future will become. The essence of looking back, seeing everything in hindsight, is looking back at history. We can't look back at the present. We can't really look even forward to the future. So much changes within us and around us as time moves forward. All we can do is make the best choices we can in the present to hopefully make positive steps for the future. And when we look back at history, hopefully we will see the bigger picture, the clearer picture. What we call hindsight is 2020. We shouldn't rewrite history in the way that we want people to think things occurred, but we should stay sober-minded and open and ready to learn from the past choices. It's not a perfect science. No historical record in any country has ever been agreed upon by everyone at the same moment in time. Most often, people may have an opinion about something that happened in history, and after learning more about the other situations that they didn't know were going on back then, or after reframing things they thought they knew, they could very well change their opinion now. History should be very carefully studied with our eyes wide open and looking at different perspectives on each subject. Otherwise, we could be fooled into believing something that may not have even been real or true. As George Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Learning lessons and making better choices, that's what it's all about. This 250th anniversary caused me to look back at the United States of America's history since 1776, and I wanted to look at the founding documents again. It's been a long time since I studied it in school, and I couldn't remember what led up to the Declaration of Independence, so I looked it up. Join me next time as we explore how we tell stories from historical documents. Like, subscribe, and leave in your comment what your favorite historical movie is, preferably from your country's history. Until next time, happy history hunting.